Hello, this is a mini campaign between seasons of Ward and Witchcraft. So this is still a world of darkness, the same world of darkness in which a group of mages played around in the ocean of time and made some unexpected and possibly permanent tweaks to the universe. So if you haven't listened to Wards and Witchcraft, I'd go back and check out our YouTube channel, and it's available on other podcast platforms. So in this corner of the world, just north of Boston, in the very liberal, very geeky, very queer city of Somerville, where all manner of weird is welcome, there is a particular pocket of very, very weird. So this is a story about the weird, changelings who have escaped from the Fae into a world that has perhaps forgotten them, and where they're trying to make their way as sometimes entirely new beings. This is also a story about mages who tend to find themselves in a lot of trouble, particularly when they're thrown into things that they don't fully understand. So this is a story about choices and consequences, and it's a story about the lost, the awakened, and the forgotten. So as we join our players, I really want to go through some hard and soft lines. These are boundaries that you can set for me so that any content that makes you uncomfortable, kind of squishes you out, can cause a lot of discomfort in any way. You can tell me if it's a soft line, something that I could lightly touch, or I'm gonna give you some warning if it's gonna come out so you can opt out of experiencing it. Or if it's a hard line where you don't want this content to come up at all, I won't include it in any of the storyline, whatever your characters choose to do. So I'd like to go around, and if you could tell me some of your boundaries, that would be great. Well, let's start with Victoria. Would you mind explaining some things for us?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm no great fan of graphic violence, but a soft line I could be okay if it's for the plot, but I have a very hard line on sexual violence.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and I tend to agree, yes. Next in my panel of players is Charlie.
Same with the hard line with sexual violence, soft line with when it comes to torture.
That is a good one and often comes up in World of Darkness stories, so thank you. Fantastic new hat, Trevor.
I wanted to fit in. Too bad it's really fit over the headset.
Is there any content that I should consider in my storyline?
Nothing I could think of.
Okay, cool. We have creepy-eyed Mitchell.
Yes. In addition to a hard line on sexual violence, I think just a soft line on anything overtly sexual. So just fade to black kind of stuff would make me feel most comfortable.
Absolutely. And our new player, Kyle.
Hi. I would like to throw in a soft line on overt medical gore, but vivid descriptions would wig me out a bit.
Okay, I will definitely keep all of these in mind. There will be absolutely no sexual violence. I believe torture was also a hard line. Is that right? Or soft line? All right, that will definitely give everyone warning, including you, our audience. If there's any torture, sexual elements, medical gore, and I'll try not to have those come up. So diving into our wonderful neighborhood of Somerville, kind of behind where the red line sits next to the Somerville Theater, it's bright lights playing at night. we find a unusual looking person, a little bit scaly, a little bit grainy, kind of lurking, looking a little lost, wandering down the street. And they're probably a little cold, probably a little lonely, definitely overwhelmed by many of the other very human, very normal people walking around the streets. And they find themselves out in the back in a very oddly foggy parking lot with some lights. And not the kind of lights that you would avoid following in the hedge, but lights that look a little welcoming. Are you going to walk towards them?
This is like the night when it took me. I will go towards the light, but I will shift from this reality onto another. Hisstopher is a hell diver and can enter into worlds unseen to others. In these worlds, he sees reflections of what is truly there. Or perhaps what he sees is what is truly there.
As you sink into the reality just underneath what everyone on the street might be seeing, clear as day right in this twilight is a very out of place wrought metal, not iron, fencing going maybe 10 feet up, curlicues all the way at the top so no one can crawl over, but very elegant. There's a set of doors that are open right now, although it doesn't look like there's many other people hanging around. And in the middle, there is a very, very large circus tent. And even underneath this level of reality, it's so bright to you and clearly a foggy haze for everyone else. It's no wonder that no one else can see it back up in the mundane. And it's bright velvet almost, those giant red stripes going all the way to the top of the circus tent and all the way down, giant golden ropes holding it up in place, two smaller tents around it, and right inside the gate there is a small, narrow, purple fortune teller tent that goes up to the top in a large peak and a small window. And you think there's someone inside, but it's a little bit hard to tell from this side of reality. They seem to keep themselves stable, steady, doing their best to anchor themselves in the mundane.
Slither through the cloth, brushing it with the scaly hand.
It's very, very soft. Feels a little bit like home, which doesn't really make sense for you, but it's almost infused in the fabric, a safe place.
I press my face against it and slide through, looking for what lies beyond.
Yes, there. Sit down. If you're at the door, come in. Take a seat. Right ahead. It's 50.
Shift back into personhood in the chair.
$15 for palms, 30 for tarot, 20 for bones. What would you like?
No currency. I need to know, where is My family.
Big ask for no currency. Show me your palm. No, your tongue. Flip it up. Too purple underneath. Do you have missing family? I see your father's not in danger, is he?
He may be. It has been so long since I've seen them.
Yes, I sense that absence in you. No currency, no readings. There's an ATM around the corner.
Perhaps I could make an exchange.
What might you have I want?
Am very good at finding things. Perhaps for a favor, I could bring something to you.
Finding things. Let me see your hand. And the other? I would take you on it. But if I can't find your family, you won't write a Yelp review, will you?
I know about the internet. I have surfed the seas of interwebs.
Perfect. Shuffle these till they feel comfortable.
Yes.
You're not from here, are you?
No.
Close the tent flap.
I am not from here. I am not from anywhere. I am lost.
Well, there's nothing I can tell you that you can't tell yourself. Go on. Story then.
I once had a friend. She was small and smooth. Nagini. She kept me safe. But I did not keep her safe, and one night she slipped from the window out into the woods behind my house. I followed her, and there I met a man, but not a man. He said I could have anything that I wished, but I wished for Nagini to return home safe, and in exchange, he took me.
Me.
The Witch King.
I don't know if it can be like an an occult, like fortune telling, to see if I can deduce anything about this Witch King.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I probably should have thought to do that from the get-go to put fate sight up. So can I also, at this moment in which this visitor is now more interesting to me than the average visitor, throw up my fate sight too?
Absolutely. Yeah, Madam Meadowsweet, you've been at the circus for actually probably a month, not that long. You really want to impress people, but you've learned that not everyone in the circus is human. In fact, no one at the circus is human. And you're from what this Hisstopher is talking about, you've got some inkling, but you can absolutely roll to see for sure.
Okay, I rolled 2.
Yeah, you've been around a changelings long enough to know Hisstopher is totally a changeling. And many a changeling have wandered in and out of this circus. There's usually a job for them. And it might look really good for you if you help add a new changeling to the ranks, particularly since some of them keep disappearing.
Perfect. Perfect. So, my dear, let's be frank. This isn't you. Can I see you? Madam Meadowsweet does not have all day.
There's kind of like a flipping as each one of the scales flips from skin color to a more greenish yellow hue. The eyes change more reptilian, and the neck extends, the hands become claws, and you can see the snake-like person beneath the already kind of snake-like person.
Refreshing. I figured. I mean, I didn't did I not ask to see your tongue right from the get-go? I knew it right away. The second you walked into the tent, changeling. They're all changelings. Well, I assume you want a job here?
What is a changeling?
Oh no. All right. We'll start from square one. You're a snake. You're from the Fae. You're stuck here, looking for your family, feel misplaced, kind of turn into a person. I'll hit home. That's not even, you don't even have to pay me for that. That's nothing. That's a changeling. Really? How long you been on this side?
What is side?
Oh, you're a tough case. When did you leave the Fae? What was that?
I go places. Sometimes I go other places where things are strange. Is this the side I was just beyond?
Well, darling, they don't get much stranger than here. And I'm gonna holler for the ringmaster to come over. You can stay like that. You like snakes.
Snakes? Are there snakes here?
You're in deeper than I thought. We see those snake hands while he comes over.
You hear just a sigh. Someone opens the curtain and just looks at Hisstopher and goes, well, you've come to the right place. It's this tall, at least to you, Hisstopher, this very tall man with a cloud of beard just straight out from his face. His skin is and gnarled, and he's got branches coming right out of the top of his head. The weirdest part is that there are birds just all over him, bluebirds, cardinals, goldfinches, just some in his beard, some up in his branches. They're just twittering. It can be a little hard to hear over his soft-spoken voice, but at least he's got a kind face. Please don't eat the birds. Madam Meadowsweet, kindly old man with big bushy blonde hair, white hair in his beard, dressed in suspenders, striped pants. Looks like he might have had a ringmaster coat on at one point, but he's thrown it off. He goes, well, you look like you could fit in. What's going on?
Got a case for you. This one doesn't know he's a changeling, doesn't even know what a changeling is, doesn't recognize he's a snake. Watch. Hey, snakes. All
Snakes.
over.
Where are the snakes?
I mean, we did have to get rid of the snakes. They were causing trouble.
I love snakes.
Oh.
I can tell, young man. Well, if you'd like to be around snakes and keep them under control, we might have a place for you, and we certainly can help you out with, you know, who, what you are, what you're doing here. In fact, this is probably the safest place for you. We don't play with politics. We don't play with any conflict. It's a peaceful place as long as you work.
Is this home?
Sure, St. Patrick. It's home. What do you want us to call you?
My name is Hisstopher.
Very appropriate.
Of course it is.
Well, what do you say, Hisstopher? You want a warm bed and a roof and maybe some friends, definitely a little bit of knowledge in your head. It would be a good place.
Yes, bed, warm. I like it when they're warm.
Like the stove for this one.
Yeah, I'll put you in Anna's old bunk. She liked it warm too. All right, he leaves you out in the back and you have a new home, Hisstopher. I'm not really sure how long Victoire's been in the world, and I'm not sure they know either. But wandering the same streets, incredibly irritated at all of the posters on the wall that don't feature their face. We have another person stalking down the street of Somerville, and usually people are pretty nice to each other, but everyone's staying out of their way. Is there anything that you're looking for?
Yes. Victoire heard that there was a band playing in Cambridge, and they're looking for them. They heard they were playing at the place where bands play in Cambridge.
Cantab.
Cantab.
Yep. They were playing at the Cantab, so they're on their way there.
Walking from Somerville down to Union, it's a bit of a hike, and there's so many people on the sidewalk. They're just drunk college kids, so many from Tufts, just hanging out, eating dollar pizza slices and being so loud. You know a shortcut, it goes down through Mass Ave, so you cut through behind the Somerville Theater, and there is something in your way. You've been down this alleyway a couple times, but this time there's something new impeding your path, and it's a little hazy, and you don't remember seeing it before, but there's something that you definitely would have remembered if you saw before. It's a giant circus tent surrounded by wrought iron fencing. It's odd, but Somerville's odd. You see some posters in the distance hanging on this giant circus tent. One of them looks a little bit like you.
Of course.
You can't tell if it is, but just a little bit.
I walk up to the poster and I rip it off and I tear it to shreds.
And Meadowsweet, you just started at this circus and someone is already vandalizing it.
All right, I'll stomp out, slam the tent flap. It's so early. It's probably not early. I figure it's actually midday, but it's so
Really,
early.
your sleep schedule's a little funky.
It's so early. Why are we ripping things off of the wall? Is this your circus? Did you put that poster up? Show me your tongue.
Wait, do you just ask everyone to show you their tongue?
It tells a lot about a person, the tongue, particularly snake tongues, bird tongues.
Victoire is gonna kind of glare at you and then stick out their tongue.
In the bottom? Underside. 2 in 1 day. Come in, sit down. Palms 15, terror 30, bones 20. You don't want it. Sit. Why are you here?
You shouldn't be hanging up trash like that around your circus.
I don't hang the posters. Why would I hang the posters? It looks like you anyway. Is it your sister? Are you in a fight? Let me see your palms.
Okay, here.
And the other one. Since I still have my life sight on, can I see her for what she really is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, with your which
Or
site
not life,
it was?
sorry, fate sight
sight?
up. My apologies.
Yeah. If it's up, then you see that this crow person is absolutely changing, just drenched with the flavors of the Fae, the bitter flavors of the Fae. There's a really weird connection between this changeling and the circus. There's lines going right to that poster. They're not happy lines.
I don't believe in any of this nonsense of fate and fortune.
Neither do I.
Very well. What are you here for?
I'm stopping you from defacing my circus. Why don't you want that poster up? Has it offended you?
Very much so. The face on that poster is supposed to be mine, but it's been stolen.
Interesting. All right, well, let's start. Can you be you? You're my second one today. First one was a snake, didn't even know what a changeling was. I assume. Just talk right.
How are both my forms different?
So your mask is who you would look like to other human beings. You look like a human, pretty much.
Okay.
And then your mien is your true form, your changeling form, how you've been manipulated by your time in the Fae.
Okay. As Victoire transforms, they transform into a elegant but also very scary crow person with jet black feathered hair and clawed hands.
I knew it. Didn't I tell you, show me your hands? I knew they'd be ridiculous clawed hands, not normal hands. You weren't fooling me for a second. So what's your story? Why are you here? Oh, yes, someone took your face. So are you not performing? Do we have to cancel you?
No, I think you're a circus here.
Well,
Yes.
I'm not, but.
Yes. I think I could probably use this to my advantage.
Slow down. You ripped down a poster, now you want a gig?
Are you hiring?
And I call the ringmaster again. What is the ringmaster's name?
His name is Robin.
Robin.
Mhm.
Oh, adorbs. Robin, I got you another.
Madam Meadowsweet, you've been here. You hear from across the yard. Hardly a month. Why are they coming to you? And opens the curtain and says,
It must be her personality.
I'm charming, I know. People can't get
Very.
enough of me. Pay $1 a minute to talk to me over my normal rates, of course, posted right there.
I look at the rates and scowl.
Madam Meadowsweet, I thought we talked about not charging visitors who come in on off hours. The gates are supposed to be closed during the daytime. This is 7 in the morning. Hello, welcome.
I
to
have bills.
Circus.
I have bills I have to pay. If the customers come, they come. They don't always come when your circus is going on. I need the customers when they come. Plus, 2 performers already today. They could at least pay for a palm reading. 15.
You're
Not
right.
that much.
Right. We've got bills. We have some vacancies. Hello, my name is Robin. I'm the ringmaster. What can I do for you?
Well, I am here because I am intrigued by your circus, and I would like to lure someone to it. I will pay handsomely.
That is a very unusual proposition. This is a good place. We don't deal with any of the intrigues of the court. We don't. I know it's a little bit frowned upon, but we try and stay out of any conflict, any issues that changelings have with each other, with, mage politics. Doesn't sound like what you're proposing is something that we really want brought down on us.
Also, she defaced the wall.
I just put those up. They're for like a month out, but they're freshly printed. Okay.
You should take them all down. They're trash.
She's got a charming personality.
They're recyclable. All right. You seem like you have some issues. And I say that in the nicest, kindest way. Maybe we can help you out with them without luring people. I don't know exactly what you intend to do with your lured target, but
Let me tell you, it's just one person, and they're in no order or anything like that. One small person who's just like me. They are not even the real person.
Ooh.
there's no oohing. I know what this is about. Don't. All right, one question. I know this is a personal nature. We don't allow violence in the circus. It's part of our rules. It's part of the promises that keep this running.
Means I can't sell curses, even though curses go for more than anything else.
Exactly. No verbal curses, no violence. Like I said, it's a good
So-
place. So if you just want to talk to this individual,
Imposter.
we'll call them an individual for now. If
I
you can
do
do that peacefully in exchange for something for us, we might be able to make it work.
Victoire.
And what you do outside of the circus, outside of these gates, is your own business. Just don't bring it on us.
Fine. I do. I do have interest in having a conversation with her, so this will be good grounds to do it on.
Wonderful. Now I have some things that we need here. It sounds trivial, but it's important to all of us. It's how we survive. Do you have any performance experience or any sort of unusual talents? I mean, even if it's, part of who you are and how you operate, we've got some, we get some regular people come in, we give them a show, the whole razzle dazzle. You help out with that?
Victoire, as you're speaking, she does this. And then she starts speaking in your voice, in the ringmaster's voice, and says,
Yeah, this is fine. You're hired. And Robin looks at Madame Meadowsweet and goes, well, do you think that'll impress?
I saw this. I knew when she walked in, I knew she could mimic voices. That's why I brought her to you. I always know.
This is why we keep you around. And it's not why. You're lovely. We enjoy having you here. We're very happy, but also you contribute a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
And I make the best tea.
You do. You do. And the birds kind of twitter around. Goes, okay.
an American making good tea, please.
You might find some pretty great hospitality here. I think we have one more. Well, we definitely have at least one more open bunk. It's on roof. It's private. Let me show you. And he leads you up the tent very graciously.
And Robin, before you go, do not get too comfortable. I see more visitors. Yes, today will be a bountiful day. Now tea.
Oh man, it's a really weird circus, guys. Farther away from Davis Square in the heart of Somerville, there are some nicer houses. Back behind Mass Ave, there are larger, much older houses, some of them Victorian, many of them with lots of gardens, some of them with better caretakers than others. And then one of the older, larger houses that is desperately needing some landscaping. There's an unusual character living inside. It's some people know I've never seen him going in and out, and some people know exactly where he lives. And on this particular day, a bird has flown into your window, and then another bird flies into your window. It's very unpleasant thuds. It's not great. You've had an incredibly long day stitching up some really unfortunate skateboarder who has entirely too many legs to balance on a skateboard well. Was not very gracious, but then you don't have the best bedside manner anyway. Oh, and there's a third bird just flying right into your window.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoo him away. I don't want any diseases or uncleanliness to enter my abode. I'm distracted with this kid here. I'm like, what the hell? Shoot! Like I take my cane and I'm whacking the windowsill with it really hard.
There's another bird. Then there's three at once, and the kid goes, "What is going on? There's just too many birds. I don't like birds. There was a whole thing, in the before times. And just kind of is stitched up. You've been pretty much finished with him. And he's just clearly trying to get out of paying you, backs out really, really quickly. Just.
And I chase him down real quick, sort of with a wobble, and I find a baggie, and it's like filled with like a white powder. And I'm like, take a little bit at a time and put it in the inside of your gum. Because it tastes awful, but you'll heal faster that way. And then I point at him and I point his chest real sternly. You owe me.
Yeah, I know. And I know how IOUs work around here. Goes down the street. So are you out on like the front porch having this conversation or still inside?
I'm gonna say the door is open, but yeah, the sort of in the foyer of the house. But yeah, the door's totally wide open. The birds could come in if they decide.
Yeah, just as you're closing the door, like 3 birds come in. They're all robins. And they're clean looking, but they're definitely birds. They kind of flutter around and they land on the banister. And the middle one opens his mouth and goes, I hate calling on you, but we've got a bit of an issue back behind the theater. You've been here, I think. Saskia had an issue with the swords, and I'm not bringing her into the hospital again. They just did not understand what was going on. Can you just come down? I mean, she'll survive, but as soon as you can.
She'll survive, yet you need me? I mean, fine. Let me know. I'm taking a lot of time. Very well. I shall make it there post haste.
You've passed by the circus. You haven't really been in it, but you know where it is. You know what it is. It's like an independent safehold. The courts don't really love it. They don't really trust changelings who are not part of the court, but it's got a good reputation. It's kind of like a wayward home for misfits. They do good for the neighborhood. They do good for the changelings. They're odd, but they're good. So you go up to the gate, and Robin's there with this collection of birds. Doctor, welcome back, or welcome to the first time. I don't remember, but here, just thank you for coming.
Where's the person who swallowed a knife or whatever?
Okay, so he leaves you behind the big tent, and there's maybe 10 trailers. Nice looking trailers. Some of them are made of wood, some of them are newer, some of them are more like tiny houses. It's a collection from maybe different generations. Leads you into one of them. There's, well, from your perspective, very large, very muscular, 3-eyed young girl laying on the couch, and there's just a sword sticking out of her mouth, looking so grumpy. And Robin goes, yeah, I mean, she's so great at it, but sometimes when you eat the wrong thing, I guess she swallowed an apple whole or something. I'm not sure what she ate, but it's stuck. Can you, I don't know, do your thing? just get the sword out. I mean, it's not gonna cut her, but it's probably very uncomfortable. And Saskia is there, just like, making noises on the bed.
Very well. I'll go to walk to this the girl lying at the table and take a look at her. And I'm like, okay. And I go to the a counter. There's a sink nearby. I'll take a cup or whatever I can find, and I start mixing all these weird concoctions together. I watch me raid their cabinets, and I found a bottle of vinegar or something, and I just laid it down. I open through a couple other bottles, and I start pouring into this cup. I'm like, all right, I swirl it with my finger real quick. I'm like, yeah. I walk up to the girl. I take the hilt of the sword. I just yank it out, and I give her this cup. I'm like, drink this. Chug.
I will never understand modern medicine, but if it works, it works. So, doctor, we've been having. Thanks, Saskia. Let's let her drink and rest. Walk outside. We've been having a bit of a shortage of performances. We got a couple new younglings in, but we don't have quite the liquid funds as usual. In terms of payment for your services, we could work out some sort of deal, but you know how deals are.
Perhaps it's a payment. It can only be a favor.
That's a very steep price, Doctor.
Well, I mean, you knew my costs before approaching me.
Yeah, there's a show tonight. I needed the sword out, otherwise she's going to just scare everybody. Okay.
Well, it's just a favor.
It's never just
no,
a favor.
Yeah, I'll redeem it when I see it.
If you make the favor specific and small up front, I'll also throw in a free show. We've got some new ones. And it's, Friday night. There tend to be a little bit more adult folks who walk in. They're more welcome. There's usually good glamour.
You drive a hard bargain, but I'll watch a show of yours. New entertainment, you say, huh?
Entertainment, okay. New ones, and I'm sure you're around a lot of pain and fear, but if you want a more positive flavor, we've got some good things.
I'm excited to see what you have to offer. I shan't be disappointed.
Excellent. And show doors open at 11. Midnight is when the dreamiest ones walk through the door. Awesome. Party's coming together. In a totally different part of Boston. Totally different. There's a very small studio belonging to one mage. And as usually happens, every couple of months, you get a really interesting letter. He knows the seal and he knows the specific typewriter used to type this out. And it has some instructions. They're really vague, but you can kind of figure them out. Somerville, there's a circus. Try and figure out why it's an island in the ocean of time. And you, well, Why don't you roll intelligence occult to see how much you remember from those team meetings?
Intelligence and
Occult?
occult. Okay.
Our first roll.
Right. First roll.
So one success.
I
You
rolled one
know
success.
some of what's going on. You've heard a bit of whispers from when the Mysterium gets together, but this is mostly a feeling that you have yourself. You can feel the time and what the Mysterium code names the ocean is really wonky around Boston. Something is off. Something is definitely not right. Time spells seem to be going a little different than expected. There have been some disappearances, there have been accidents, and it seems like things are getting worse. So they're asking you to investigate because, of course, you're the best one for the job. You've done all kinds of different missions and probably hundreds. I mean, you don't remember the older ones, but definitely at least hundreds of very successful missions. And so investigating this circus, an island in the ocean of time, not exactly sure what that means, but you can check it out. Gonna take the red line down into Somerville. You're gonna have to hunt for the circus. This is not going to appear magically for you.
So if it's something I could see with mage sight, then standing in Davis Square and investigating, I would have a pretty mighty roll.
Yeah. What mage sight would you want to use?
I don't know these words yet.
Okay, so mage sight, it's kind of like putting on different colored glasses, except instead of a color, you're looking at how certain forces of the world are interacting in the world. So if you were going to put on your fate sight, you would see you'd see the fate lines, basically, how different people and places and things are related to each other in terms of how they're fated to interact. It's also helpful for looking at where Arcadia or the Fae have touched things. See what else you have. Time, you could see. We definitely see if there's something weird going on with time.
Okay, well, I am primarily a fate mage, and so that would be my reflexive first action to investigate the space with fate sight. I'd also follow that with serendipity, if that a spell of where is the most practical, fated, best place for me to go.
Yeah, I could totally see you using that as the start of every mission. It's just why you're so successful. You're a lucky guy. So yeah, if you wanted to roll at serendipity, that'd be fine.
I have it as a rope.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, thanks.
9 dice. Okay.
It's all I do, but I'm going to do this pretty well.
All right, so that's 3 successes. Yeah, you just kind of get the red line, kind of rub your hands together, just start walking down the brick pathway and happen to look to the right just as some sort of echoes of fate lines, as if someone had walked there. And you're seeing kind of these fate shimmers around different people, clearly drunk or addled, or some of them just a little artsy and dreamy, kind of going down the direction of that echo. And it feels right. You can just follow along. And just pulsing with fate and dream and magic is just this giant circus tent. It's definitely where you want to go. You've ended up there, no problem. These giant black gates and velvet striped tent, a couple of smaller tents. The lights are on. They're bright and warm, and people are just walking in. Some of them stopping at a smaller tent, some of them going off into others, some of them funneling into the big tent. It's magic. Like, there's stuff going on. It's where you want to go. Feels right.
And that's where I'm going. Before I do, though, I would take a moment to cast Constant Presence on myself, which would keep me stable around any time magic. Changes might happen around me, but if I'm going into a warped time space, warped time location, that's easier to say, then that would be also instinctive. I am very careful and very pedantic.
Amazing. Is that one of your
It's a practice.
practice? Nice. Right, you got an exceptional success. You got 3, so that's a 5. Amazing. Could you describe what your nimbus looks like as you steady yourself and become more sure of your space in time?
Sure. An Arcanthus mage generally has some strange luck and weird twists of fate occurring around them. It would only be noticeable to another mage as something that had to do with me. When I'm spellcasting, at least, there's an immediate nimbus about me of matrix glitches. Mm-hmm. You might notice a second or two jump forward or back. The same cat walks down an alley and screams the same way. Little things, but enough that there's some strangeness.
Very cool. Madam Meadowsweet, you've just had this ridiculous drunk tough student come in and just ask how and when he's going to find love. There's just either there are no gay men or everyone's closeted, and he thought he came to the gayest city in Massachusetts, but how is he going to find some love? You look over his shoulder and you see, well, there are some oddly dressed people in Somerville, but white hair, white trench coat, white shirt, white pants, a little ostentatious, just glitch forward and back as he's walking very confidently into the circus. That's a nimbus. There's a mage coming into your circus. That's not usual.
Second thought, all you need, love potion. Right here, $20. Take. Thank you. Out. Good. Drink it. He'll love you forever, whoever he was. It's exactly the one for you. And I push out past the kid and up to this white trench coat. You in sit. Now, Palms 5 out 15, Tarot 30, Bones 20, but sit.
Sounds like I am in the right place. I sniff. Did you sell that boy Mountain Dew and a little bit of turpentine?
It won't hurt him. Nothing more than what he already drank tonight. Might even give him, that little thought that makes him get just the thing he's looking for.
I think you're right.
Well, of course, mage. I knew it from a mile away. I always do. Always can tell them before anyone else can. Now. Why are you here? Not that I don't know, but I can't tell you anything you don't know, so why did you tell me?
I am amused. Of course, and I'm where I'm supposed to be also. I am here on behalf of the, what are we called again? The Mysterium. So this is big, and this is important, and this is scary. Where's the time warp?
I don't participate with the orders.
Then you probably want me out of here.
But you're supposed to be here. penny back. Can I see your tongue?
There's the click of a pistol under my trench coat.
Oh, now. Let's not start like that. We're friends here, aren't we?
We could be. Mysterium have deep pockets. I could certainly afford a tarot reading.
Maybe two. $30. Up front.
$30.
Shuffle. Interesting.
Tell me what I'm looking for then.
I knew today was going to be a different day. What is it you want again? The tomboy? The tiny boy?
Something mighty? Something hiding in this circus?
Everyone's hiding in a circus. Why do you think people come to the circus? To hide.
As a time mage who has currently enchanted himself with a time stability, can I feel anything changing around me? Like if I'm now a rock, I would feel the river, I guess, moving.
Yeah, weirdly, no. You're steady and stable, and it's like nothing else around you is moving.
Which
A
is
rock
normal.
sitting on top of another rock, which is how it's supposed to be, but not how it's been.
Gotcha. Thank you. I lie and say, time is my primary focus. I have come here because I've sensed a stillness. There must be some great power supporting this place.
Of course. Madame Meadowsweet is here, telling fortunes, seeing the future, helping lost souls like you. What trick? Do you have a trick you can do with this time?
I can smell when I'm being bullshitted. I get up to leave.
Robin!
Madame Meadowsweet, I've got like 5 minutes to be on stage. I'm glad I just walked by your tent. It's packed. What? There's something throwing off your groove.
And I just point. I don't like this one, but it came here.
Non-human power.
He's
What supports this place?
You're interesting. What did you imbibe earlier today?
Oh, this is no tough stage.
Oh,
Could I make my nimbus?
so hard to tell. Robin, not human. Nice to meet you. It's he shakes his mask off a little bit, and you just see some birds erupt out. He's got branches and very gnarly tree man. He goes, ta-da! Puts his mask back on and be like, but they save that for the show. So you're looking for power? I mean, that's your side of the world's deal. We just deal in dreams and wonderment and a little safety. We keep to our own. We don't mess with any of your politics and none of our politics. Got mages, changelings, all living peacefully. We don't, I don't know what you're after.
Me neither. Is that part of that safety, the stability in the timeline? Do you cast particular magics?
We all have magics, but they're not like your magics. You manipulate the world, kind of against its consent. So we make deals with the world so that it, helps us out. We help it. It helps us. We don't understand how we're helping it necessarily. I mean, come on, you should know this. Look, if you want to see, I don't know if you've ever met any of the lost, any of us. We like to call ourselves the found here. Why don't you come in, just sit yourself, don't draw any attention to yourself, even with, well, I guess we've got all kinds here. Come in, watch the show, see what you're about. Maybe Madame Meadowsweet will give you a real reading.
I'll read the real readings. Leave the $30.
Look around. If you need to talk to someone, but really it's okay. Maybe you can get back to Mysterium, your people, and see what exactly they want from us. We'd rather be left alone. So come in, look around, watch a show, get out.
I appreciate the respect. If there's something here my masters need to catalog, then I need to see it and know it's not going to interfere with us. If
Excellent.
you're lying to me, then I will bring grave misfortune on this place. Your patrons will have the worst run of luck, and it'll probably burn your circus down. Who knows? Don't mess with me, or with my order.
Robin, curse. Just one little curse. This one wants what I promise. I won't even charge him. No money.
Robin leans very close to your face, creaking, and says, I'd like to see you try. Pulls out a ticket, gives it to you, and walks out. And I think it's a good stopping place before the show starts. Thank you for joining the circus. This is totally different from Words and Witchcraft. We'll see how the stories might interlace going forward. We have a Discord channel that'll be in the notes. And come hang out with us, talk about stuff you like, you don't like. If I've totally messed up the changing rules, mage rules, it's a little bit new for me. Tell us if you like our outfits, if you're watching us on YouTube, or share your pets. We got a lot of cat pictures.
Hello, Robin. Nope, that's a terrible accent. It's so hard. 1, 2, 3, nous irons au bois.